You are now listening to the Jay Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay.
Yo, what is the word, people? Welcome to another edition of the Jay Porks Experience. Forgot what it was for a second. I'm Jay Porks. With me, as always, is nobody. Couple of things. I can't hear. My right ear, shot. Completely thanks to your favorite band and my favorite band, the Meat Puppets. Saturday night, Brooklyn Bowl in Williamsburg. We'll get into that. I may sound a little sick. If I stop and cough and restart again, sorry. Again, we're gonna blame that on your favorite band and my favorite band, the Meat Puppets, who were in the Burgh, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, last night. And yeah, I don't have an and. But basically, I just want to talk about the Meat Puppets. But I just want to hit this really fast because a lot of stories coming out this week. We all know Spotify, and Tom York doesn't like it. Okay. David Byrne also doesn't like it. David Byrne, who hasn't been cool since like 1978. He's banging some 17-year-old, and now he's going to speak about stifling creativity. And I fucking love it. I love these artists that are claiming that Spotify is really getting into their pockets. Why don't you just have your music taken off Spotify? Is that hard? Are you the artist? Are you going to hit me with no, it's a record thing, record label contract? Then you signed a bad contract, you're not a good business person. It's easy as that. If you don't want your music on Spotify, call Spotify, tell them to take it off. You think, I mean, really. It's bad enough they're letting you, not bad enough, it's good enough for all of us who don't have money that they're letting us stream and listen to stuff for free. When artists go start hooting and hollering about it, usually that streaming service will shut down or something. They're obviously within the confines of the law, and if they're not, then somebody smarter than me needs to come on and guest with me and explain it to me. Because right now I see it as the artists make music, they let Spotify listen, they let Spotify users hear their music, and then they cry about it. This is not Napster all over again. This is not Kazaa. This is not that. So, this is like the same show as last week, only the fucking Meat Puppets. Brooklyn Bowl. I love the Brooklyn Bowl. The Brooklyn Bowl is a bowling alley. There are people bowling as the show goes on. They do have a Blue Ribbon Kitchen. They have Brooklyn Lager on tap. Or beer brewed at the Brooklyn Brewery and the Brooklyn Winery, or City Winery down the street. They have that too. But from Staten Island to Williamsburg is a bitch. It's a big fat bitch. Give you an indication. I left my house in Staten Island at 3:15 yesterday. Not yesterday, Saturday. Again, taping on Sunday. It's the only free time I have during the week. Left 3:15 on Saturday. Doors open at 6. Now, I know I'm taking public transportation or anything, but if I told you that I wasn't there for doors opening, would you believe me? 3 hours. I took the bus from my house to 74, it takes me to the ferry. I took the ferry over to Manhattan. I took the 5 train up to 14th Street. Then I took the L train into Brooklyn. It kind of felt like I went around the world. So I was Googling express buses, like, to get back. We'll get into my trip home later on. So I get to the Brooklyn Bowl like 6:30. The only people who actually called me on having 2 IDs in my wallet. I do have my old ID in my wallet because I have a round face on my old ID, and I like to show it off. I like to show off the weight loss. So I get to the Brooklyn Bowl. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the list. Gave him my name. I'm all big shot. Really, I'm just looking around like, I hope Shannon or Chris comes out to get me in, because there's no way they're going to have my name on the list. Looks at the list. Guess whose name's on the list? +1. So I could have brought somebody, had I known. But I actually didn't get that email till 3:30, notifying me that I was +1, and it's hilarious because I left my house already. But I was able to surf the web on the run. You want to know why? But I got that iPhone 5 though. That's why. Yes, we have stepped into the future. See, I used to have a shit phone, and that was okay because I had my iPod Touch. And my iPod Touch with a shit phone equals the iPhone. That's what it is. So back when Sandy hit, I had my iPod on the dock, and the power went out for a second, and my iPod died. Now I'm not blaming Sandy. People lost homes. I'm not crying about an iPod. I've just been upset since then, since I've been trying to find ways to take notes in my hand. You heard me talk about the Nook last week? There's no notepad on a Nook tablet. I can read, but I can't write. So I finally went to Best Buy, and I don't care. Give me the iPhone. Sign me up for a 2-year plan. I don't give a fuck. I'm an adult now. I will pay the bills that are here today. And the bills that are coming in 30 days, I will worry about in no less than 29 and a half days from now. So I was able to look up directions and take notes and prep myself. So I was very delighted this whole trip. I was very delighted. I had my iPod, my iPhone. Battery life is boss. And I was able to take notes the whole night. I was delighted. Get to the door. I tell them I'm on a list. I'm Mr. Big Shot. I get in, take a seat, and I hang out for a little while. Show starts at 8. So I see Elmo and Chris Kirkwood go outside, duck outside. I'm like, eh, there they are. I always give the there he is. It's like that. It's me saying hello. There he is. There she is. I always say that shit. So I saw them, and I tailed them, and I walked up the block. I saw them by the van, and they're down the street a little bit, being all non-rockstarish. And I go up and I start talking to Chris, because Chris is a very approachable guy. And Kurt's a very approachable guy, too. But Kurt, I feel like I don't want to piss him off before the show, so I never say anything to him. Like, unless I speak when spoken to. So I'm talking to Chris and asking about the tour. It says the tour's going great. And then I see Kurt out of the corner of my eye, and he goes, "Hey, Jay." Melted. Kurt Kirkwood knows who I am. Boss. So I'm hanging out there outside with Chris, and we're smoking. And this is what you do when you're hanging out with your rockstar heroes. You keep lighting up cigarettes, back to back to back. Like you've never smoked a cigarette before in your life. You smoke them like you're getting high, because you want to spend all the time you can outside with these people. So Chris has this buddy, Mike, from Philly. I think his name's Mike. If Mike ever finds the podcast and I got your name wrong, I'm sorry. This guy's got like a Meat Puppets t-shirt on from like the 90s. Awesome. He tells me, Chris introduces me. He says, this is Jay. And he says dies and asks, I swear to God, the guy from Phoenix pronounced my last name right without me ever telling him how. That's insane. So he's like, this is Jay Porks. He does the Facebook and the Twitter. And the guy might goes, Chris, how many times? You know how many times I've been trying to tell you And I'm like, oh God, what did I do wrong? He's like, the Facebook page is so well run. Win. You know, and I said I follow directions. I'm humble pie now. That's me. Enemy planes came on at 8 o'clock at the Brooklyn Bowl. Those guys, I mean, I don't hate them. They were groovy, to say the least. And the guy on the slide gets off, and for no reason, just because. That's cool. I really have no idea what they were trying to do. I can't even make a valid critique on them. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're good. I'm not saying they're anything. I'm saying that somebody else should check them out. Someone else not named Jay. Because I really don't know what to make of that. Here's the thing about Williamsburg. Williamsburg is the hipster capital of the world. Silver Lake ain't got nothing. Nothing on Williamsburg, Brooklyn. You know how I get the guy from Phoenix, the guy from the desert says, wow, this place is really hip. I'm like, yeah, you notice everyone's wearing glasses and they don't need fucking glasses. He's like, yeah, it is. These fucking people, they're wearing their thick-rimmed Kanye West glasses. They're wearing tight flannel shirts. They're riding bikes to places. They're dumpster diving. They're saving the vegetables that were thrown away. They're saving them. And they're recooking them. They're cooking them again. There was a bar across the street from the Brooklyn Bowl. It was so hip. It just had a red light. It didn't even have a name. They are so rad that they don't even need a name. It's just the place with the red light. So, I settle in. The Brooklyn Bowl is regular standing room only. No photo pit. No specialties. No nothing. If you're bowling, you can kind of look over. You can come over to the. You'll be on the far right of the stage, and you can come over. Like, say you got 6 people bowling on one lane. Say you go, you get a strike. Then while the other 5 people bowl, you can sit out and rock out to the meat puppets over the ledge. That's what Brooklyn Bowl's about. If I had any money, I'd book a lane and order some food. That place is awesome. See, the difference, Webster Hall versus Brooklyn Bowl. I hate Webster Hall, but I love where it is. I love the Brooklyn Bowl, but I hate where it is. This get a car bullshit. Let me address this. I text my dad my gripes about the express bus on the way home. You gotta get a car. Well, here's what I gotta do. I'm fucking awesome. Why is there nobody driving me around to shows? How about this? I'll put this out there. Anybody in the tri-state, I don't even care where you are. Anybody from anywhere. If you want to go to a show with me, I will buy you in if you drive me there and take me home. Who wants to go to free shows? I'll pay that expense. That's nothing. Do you know what I'd be doing if my friend Pam lived on Staten Island? Do you understand how many we'd be at a show every fucking day because she likes to drive and she doesn't give a fuck. I live on an island where there's not one person with a car who likes the music I like. I'm going into the city by myself every week. Not gonna get girls if you don't have a car. Well, I lost like 110 pounds, so the girls with the cars are gonna have to come to me. I don't go looking for girls. That is done. That is so 9th grade. You kidding? Girls? But seriously, like, I don't even need a girl. It could be a driver. I just need somebody who wants to go to these shows with me. Drive me to the places. I'm not getting a car. I'm complaining about it. That's what I'm doing. I'm not fixing the problem. I'm bitching about it. Because it's retarded. All these people going to shows. Million people. Going to shows. But nobody from Staten Island. So nobody in Staten Island listens to music made with guitars? That's all I want to know. But, I mean, the portion of my evening that I wasn't thinking about this was 10 o'clock on, when the Meat Puppets came on and started kicking out the real jams. I'll go over the set list with you. It's I'm a Mindless Idiot, Monkey and the Snake, Touchdown King, Plateau, Coming Down, Up on the Sun. 10-minute version of Up on the Sun is fucking crazy. Sometimes Blue, which I like to associate with Staten Island sometimes, and sing Sniffin' Blues, because, you know, that's funny. Waiting, Sam, Lost, Oh Me, Time and Money, What I'm Gonna Call Seal Whales Until I'm Corrected, Backwater, Sloop John B, Beach Boys cover, Open Wide, Kathy's Clown, the Everly Brothers, and Lake of Fire to close it out. That's fine. When they were getting... When I saw them in April, they threw in Freddie Fender and Doug Sam covers. They throw in Wasted Days and Wasted Nights and Hey Baby K Paso. Those are out of the set list. Time and Money, Sometimes Blue, and Waiting are all from the new album Rat Farm. You know, with the two instrumental jams, I usually get I'm a Mindless Idiot and Seal Whales mixed up. I did that in April. And then I just realized, you know what? I took the video, let me just go on YouTube and double check. There was another show. There was doors opening at 11:30 for another show at Brooklyn Bowl. The CBGB's Fest or something is happening. Now, I say CBGB's Fest or something because I went through Manhattan and through Brooklyn and I didn't get much about it until the guy from WNYC came on stage and introduced the Meat Puppets as being part of CBGB's Fest. Thanks for reminding me. But they're rocking out, and it was getting close to 11, and I'm like, oh my god, 11 is the ceiling. So when they busted out Backwater, 10 to 11, I'm like, oh man, we are looking at a No Lake of Fire night, which I would have been fine with. I've seen it 12 times. But then we went to Sloop John B, and I wrote down Lake of Fire after Sloop John B because they always go Sloop John B into Lake of Fire. Always. Never fails. Except Saturday, when they went into Open Wide, which is awesome. Every time I hear that song, holy shit! I just never expect it. I don't know why. Open Wide on Forbidden Places? I want to say Forbidden Places. Kathy's Clown is Elmo's tune. It's not Elmo's tune, it's the Everly Brothers tune, but Elmo has started playing this in April when I was in New Hope and Lancaster with the band. They busted it out, and I asked Shannon what it was. At the time, he wasn't paying attention. He said, oh, I don't know. I don't even know what that was. That's Elmo's thing. And then I looked it up, and then Andy told me that in Chicago at the Empty Bottle, they closed with it. Which is just the oddest thing in the fucking world to do. So when they came out, after Open Wide, when they came out with Kathy's Clown, as they're starting the opening strums of Kathy's Clown, we see two people who work for the Meat Puppets telling them that's it. We're done. Elmo doesn't seem thrilled about this. Obviously, Kathy's Clown is his little jam. So they went to the 7-minute version of Kathy's Clown, and then right into Lake of Fire for another 6.5 minutes. So when they were done, they were told they were done. 13 more minutes. Who needs rules? I mean, and seriously, the phrase "the crowd goes wild" would have been appropriate. Wouldn't have been more appropriate right there. Jamming. They don't. I mean, if there's anything I could hope more from a Meat Puppet set list, would be more Rat Farm tunes. How often do you hear that? How often do you hear people say, "I wish they'd play more new songs"? I wish they'd play more new songs. I like Waiting and Sometimes Blue. They're great, but I'd rather hear like Rat Farm, an original one from Rat Farm. Rat Farm in live in New York City. I got on my YouTube page right now on YouTube. If you go to it's J Parks. J Parks everything. I will never have another name anyway. If I go to a website and J Parks is taken, I do not want to be part of it. Right now on my YouTube, I'm a Mindless Idiot. I have Touchdown King. I have Plateau. I have Sometimes Blue. I have Waiting. I have Sam. I have Oh Me. I have Kathy's Clown. That's actually a lot more than I thought I had uploaded. I also have Up on the Sun I have to upload because it was processing last night and I canceled it when I left. I also have to upload Time and Money. Open Wide. Now you'll see video of Open Wide. That's another hashtag, but I got that iPhone 5 though. Because I knew the iPhone would be better than my phone. I didn't know the iPhone would be better than my actual camera. Taking still frames anyway. All my pictures are from the iPhone. I've been lugging around a $250 camera and it's fucking obsolete. The iPhone video wasn't as good. Wasn't as good as my other video, but you're looking at the iPhone video and you're like, it's getting close. It's getting real close. Yeah, and I got home and I'm like, oh man, how do I upload this to YouTube? It's on my phone. Oh, I know. Hit upload to YouTube. Right from the phone. For the win. Hashtag, but I got that iPhone 5 though. And with this, I was able to, when I got on the express bus to get home, I was able to write the entirety of the review on Notepad. Notepad. Who would have thought? Who would have thought someone would like writing things? So yeah, it takes me a long time to get home. So having an iPod or an iPhone or something where I can write or get started on the review on the way home, it's good. It's not like I'm constantly moving. It's not like I'm driving and I can't be distracted. I'm either sitting on a bus or sitting on a boat or sitting on a train. If I think of something quirky, might as well write it down. Got on 145 because I was going to catch an express bus at 14th Street. Now you remember my trip in from Staten Island was the 74 to the ferry, to the 5 train, to the L train. Now on the way home I decided I'm going to take the L train back to 14th. And at 14th I'm going to get on the what's called the X1. It's an express bus that goes from Manhattan and the last stop is in Staten Island. Walking distance from my house. Actually, shoutouts to the X1 for running overnight. That's awesome. Overnight on the weekends? I'll take that. Sign me up for that every day. But I would have got on the one at 11:59 and not 12:21 if there was a working MetroCard machine in this city. Greatest city in the world, right? Sure. Seems like a Nazi police state to me. There's so many subways. There's millions of fucking people. But at 11:45 on a Saturday night, all the MetroCard machines have, it says no bills, no coins, no debit, no credit. They're all out of MetroCards. You've seen the turnstile. You know, like you go through that thing and you can't go back. So I go through the thing, I pay, and I go to get a new MetroCard for the express bus, because the express bus is $6, and all of a sudden that MetroCard machine doesn't work. Okay, but you can't go back. It's not like you can go back into the turnstile and go back into the subway and find another MetroCard machine. Now you're fucked. And they don't sell MetroCards in stores anymore. I mean, they do. If you find a store that is nowhere near a bus stop that has nothing to do, that for some reason is selling MetroCards. I had a 20. It's like, it says no bills. I mean, no debit or credit. So I'm like, fuck. So I turn around and I see these fucking kids and I'm like, do you have change of a 20? The kid actually did. So now I got cash. It won't take my cash. I'm screaming. I'm screaming in the subway. Nazi police state. I'm gonna miss my bus. I'm going nuts. I finally get to a MetroCard machine. There's a line. There's like 9 people. No, take in mind, if I would have got the MetroCard when I got off the train, immediately, I would have made that 11:59 bus. People say, oh, it's 11:59, 12:21. What's the difference? What's the difference? I'm sick now. Again. Because I didn't wear a jacket. Because it was nice out yesterday. Saturday. So nice that I'm sick. I know how this goes. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm not going to be able to feel my nose. And I still can't hear a fucking thing. But again, that's another thing better than Webster Hall. You see, I was pressed up against the stage at the Brooklyn Bowl. And, you know, the vocals were readily available to everybody. It wasn't... And the Meat Puppets are using more effects pedals than anybody besides Thurston Moore's Love Child. Thurston Moore and Kim Gordon's Love Child. Whatever. That worked a lot better when they were together. Now that Sonic Youth is divorced, it's becoming a lot harder to make Super Fuzz Big Muff jokes. You know, Mudhoney and shit. People that make noise. The Meat Puppets make more noise than anybody I've ever heard. They got effects boxes everywhere. And I heard their vocals pretty fine. We got Kurt sporting the full goatee going. Wintertime, Kurt. It's cool. And Chris and Kurt switched sides. Usually Kurt's on the right. I was set up to be right in front of Kurt, and Chris showed up. Not that, you know, that's a bit... Chris is a great person to have in front of you on stage. He's always... And I finally accepted the short hair. I can get on board with him, not with me. I'm not cutting my hair. But, yeah, he can rock it. When it gets all crazy like that. Yeah. He had this midnight blue bass. It's fucking rad. Heard someone ask him if it was new, and he said, no, it's an old one. Elmo had, or he had, that he pulled out. Speaking of Chris Kirkwood, I'm just gonna double check a URL, and then I will give it to you. Chris Kirkwood has his art on the internet for sale. It's like he says, he's drawing it anyway. Somebody's got to buy it, and people do buy it. Yeah, okay, it's chriskirkwoodart.com. And it's actually, I was talking to him about it, it's a great, like the website's easy to navigate. A lot of reasons why websites fail is that you can't navigate them. But I mean, you can go buy some Chris Kirkwood art. And you know, and I'm telling you this as a friend, because you're going to want to get the art now, because by this time next year, when everybody's trying to get their hands on Chris Kirkwood art, you're going to want to have already been in the know about that. Like, when people are sipping out of Chris Kirkwood mugs of coffee, you're going to wish you got on the ground floor of that. So if you're out west, if you're in California, or Washington or Idaho, wherever they're hitting Vegas, wherever they're hitting on the West Coast tour, ask Chris Kirkwood about it. Or go to the website chriskirkwoodart.com. Buy some pieces. You'll always have it. Again, he's doing it anyway. I think it's really cool, and I think it's worth a couple of bucks. I'm already shelling out. I'm going to get somebody a gift. I can't say who, because they might listen to the podcast. So yeah, go to chriskirkwoodart.com. Fucking Williamsburg. Stuck in the burg. And you know what the thing is? Like, if I didn't get that $6 Metro card, normally I would just not beg, but ask the bus driver. I couldn't get a Metro card, but not in this city anymore. I think ticket's $150 if you evade the fare. I'll explain to you Nazi police state right now. On any bus or train at any given time, well, not on the train because they'd have to be at the turnstile. That's where you pay. But on the bus at any given time, there are 2 undercover police officers waiting to drag you off the bus and give you a ticket for evading the fare. And it's always the one guy in the Yankee shirt and the other guy's in the Red Sox shirt. Yeah, like I didn't know it was you. I say hello, officers, when I see these people. But some people don't recognize the cops, and I saw the cops drag this 15-year-old kid off the bus. He had a student Metro card. The guy's like, let me see a Metro card. Let me see a Metro card. Took this kid off the bus. And the kid's given the Metro card by school. If he puts the Metro card in the machine and it goes dee, and it works, leave the kid alone. So New York City, they're paying to have police officers sit on buses and crack down on nickel and dime crooks, guys who are evading a $2.50 fare. You know what else pissed me off? After I put $7 on my Metro card, after I waited till 12:22, after that bus came, I stepped on the bus, I put the Metro card in, and it said, 1 transfer accepted. I didn't even need to put money on the Metro card. It had a transfer. When was I going to learn that trick? You can transfer from the subway for $2.50 to the express bus for $6? What? I mean, maybe instead of having D-Techs sit on the bus and try to arrest 16-year-old kids, maybe you should figure out why I'm allowed to transfer from dirty subway to fancy express bus. And here's another thing. If I'm paying $6 for the bus at 12:30 at night, I don't want to stand for an hour. Are you kidding? You need more seats. There needs to be less people on this bus. We need a bigger bus. If I need to stand, I'm not paying $6. An hour. After midnight. I'm going to stand the whole fucking time. I actually got to sit for 20 minutes. But seriously, standing the whole time on the express bus? I thought it was the express bus. People fucking... You know what's funny? The regular bus has like regular seats. The express bus has these seats like you would get on one of those academy buses that you're going to take to like Atlantic City or take to a casino. And it's like a coach thing, and you know, the cloth and stuff, and they're like armchair type seats. And the people with their bags and shit on the vacant seat die. You're lifting that stuff. I'm sitting there. I'm not even fat anymore, and I'm sitting there. What human wants to stand on a bus going through the Lincoln Tunnel over the Verrazano Bridge down Highland Boulevard, down Richmond Avenue, to the last stop at Richmond and Arthur Kill. Who wants to do that? Standing up the whole way. But, you know, transfer. I transferred from the filthy L train to the X1. Like a boss, right? I guess. Let's keep arresting kids and not fix the MetroCard machine on the bus. Here's a thought. Because here's the whole problem. The whole problem I had was I had to make sure I knew the proper procedure for getting an Express Bus MetroCard. I thought there was a special card. There's not. You just put money on a card. Sorry. So, I put $6 on the MetroCard. And I can't, like I said, no debit, no credit. But when I get on the bus, there's a thing that swipes my MetroCard. If you can take my MetroCard, you can take my debit card. Why are we not paying for the bus by our debit cards on the bus? Less people would evade the fare. You could even make a quarter off a swipe fee. People don't think. Am I the only one thinking? I feel like I'm the only one with a working brain. And you know what? I tell the kid at work, this kid John, I tell him, every time he's like working hard, I say, listen, you're doing two things you shouldn't be doing. You're thinking and you're caring. Those are two things you can't do at work. Think or care. If you think or care, you lost already. Unless it's like your career. Don't ever care about it. Ever. Don't let minimum wage jobs break you. Because I would have been broken a long time ago. I would have been broken a long time ago making $1.81. Oh boy. What a life. So, yeah. Listen. I feel like this is the exact opposite of last week. Where I hate Webster Hall, but it's so close and I can get home so fast. This is like, I love the Brooklyn Bowl, but it's in the Burg, and it's so far away. And it just makes me not want to go to shows there. I mean, the Bell House is even closer. Hell, if I still lived in Canarsie, Brooklyn, I would have been closer to my house. I would have been closer to the Brooklyn Bowl is where I am at my house now. I grew up in Canarsie. What, you think this is what Staten Island sounds like? No, you have to be born in Brooklyn to sound like this. So when I can't talk all week and I'm doing excessive tweeting, because I'll have no voice, and I'll have no hearing still, and I won't be able to breathe because I got sick, because the MetroCard machines in the city don't work, because we live in a Nazi police state where they can't fix your MetroCard machines, but God forbid you try to evade that fare, you're going to jail, and God forbid you try to smoke a bowl, you are going to prison. God forbid you have a residue of marijuana on your hair from 17 years ago. If somehow you missed it in the wash, you will go to jail. Pot is equal to crystal meth in New York. It's the same thing. See, like, there are cool cops. There are. I know a couple. But there are never cool cops arresting me. That's my point. When I talk smack about police, it's not about all of them. It's just about the ones arresting me. Like, when I'm smoking a joint, there's always some dick who comes and locks me up. Happened one time in 2009. On my way to Cake. Remind me to get into that on a later show. That's epic story. But right now, I'm gonna leave you with suspense, motherfuckers. Alright. This was awesome. Here's what I... Whoa. I'm not leaving yet. Where do you go to get your concert? Yo, wow, fuck up. Yeah, just mess up the live read you were gonna do. Live music news and reviews for fans by fans. Where do you think you go to get that stuff? ConcertConfessions.com. You kidding? And if you're wondering, like, hey, I wonder if the Meat Puppets review is up. Again, are you kidding? It was up at 6:30 because I needed to mix in a nap before work. It was funny, after all that complaining, I actually slept an hour more this week than I did last week. I don't remember what the time frame was last week that I slept, but I know I slept an hour longer this week. So, yeah, we got words, we got photos, we got videos. I got more videos going up. Tons more videos going up. I think I have a total of 11 or 12 videos. I think they played 16 songs. I didn't number the songs, I just notched them down. So I took some video, and you can go get that on my YouTube page, JPorks, and you can follow me on Twitter, and tweet at me shit you want to hear me complain about on the podcast. I don't mind. It's okay. Tweet at me if you like to go to shows in the New York area and you're not someone opposed to getting bought into a concert in return to driving me to the show and home. And you know what? We can probably work that out where it's just home. I'll get there myself. Home is just my only issue. Because when I leave the show and to get home, I have all this stuff in my head, all this information, all these notes and things I want to write. I need to get to a computer fast. The longer it takes, stuff starts drifting away. Not only that, the longer it takes, the more irritated I get at people. And the more, when I get irritated at people for like standing in my way at a door or, not moving, stress causes me to lose some of my spunk. Like, the idea for me is to leave a show and to get home to the computer with no distractions. If I have a distraction, that's an issue. And it could hold me up. So yeah, you go to ConcertConfessions.com. I'm actually dominating the scroll right now. There's always 5 reviews on the front scroll with the pictures. I got Meat Puppets. Then I got, what do I got? Oh, Fountains of Wayne, Soul Asylum, Evan Dando. And then on the back end of the scroll is Violent Femmes. And second in the scroll is Local H. So this place is really becoming a website that I can call home. Meat Puppets, Local H. Love it. Even Blitzen Trapper. So you go there, you read my review, you comment. You hear this podcast. You tell your friends who want to go to shows that I will buy them into any show they want to go to. You can just get me a ride. I'm like that guy outside the fish show holding up one finger. Only I don't need a ticket. I need a ride. Speaking of, if you want to laugh, go to StubHub and look up how much tickets are for Fish New Year's Eve run at the Madison Square Garden, the 28th to the 31st. Check out ticket prices. I'm not gonna say what they are. Just if you want a good laugh, go check it out. If you want a good laugh and a good cry, go check them out. Couch tour. Okay, and you can go to themeatpuppets.com/tour, and the Meat Puppets are in. Well, by the time you hear this, they're gonna be done with this. Allston, Massachusetts. They're going out west. That's where you want to see them. And from what I hear, tons of cool folks out west. It's just gonna be a Meat Puppets kind of time. So go do that. And if you see the Meat Puppets, you tell them that their Facebook page is being run very well. But for now, I'm going to bid you farewell, because I can use a nap. So, whiskey, weed, Warren Zevon. Late.
This has been the J Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.